It was one of those lazy, golden Saturdays when the world felt soft around the edges, and my friends and I gathered for brunch, drawn together by routine and the easy comfort of familiarity. We laughed too freely, spoke too openly, the kind of laughter that comes with mimosas and sunshine, where secrets start to loosen their grip and slip out between sips of champagne. The air buzzed with chatter about work stress, family drama, and the usual teasing about our partners. Someone tossed out a light-hearted jab about Daniel, my husband, and how he always seemed too reserved, too quiet, too much of an enigma. Wanting to keep the tone breezy, I leaned into the joke. With a half smile and a playful roll of my eyes, I quipped, "Well, at least my ex knew how to make me laugh." And then, a little too flippantly, a little too easily, I added, "And he definitely knew his way around the bedroom." The table erupted in shocked laughter, loud and gleeful, as if I had gifted them something scandalous and golden. For a moment, I laughed along with them, basking in the attention, not thinking twice about what I'd said. But the mood shifted. Like a sudden wind change, the giggles faded awkwardly, expressions shifted, eyes darted away. I frowned, confused by the sudden stillness. Then I followed their gaze. There he was, Daniel, just a few feet away, standing motionless at the edge of the patio, holding a bouquet of sunflowers. The same flowers he brought me the day we moved into our first apartment together. The same ones he'd always said reminded him of the way I smiled on sunny mornings. His face was unreadable at first, that calm mask he wore when he didn't know how to feel. But then it fractured, a flicker of something sharp and shattering hurt, disbelief. Something too big for words broke through. He didn't say anything, not a word. He simply stepped forward, placed the bouquet gently on the empty chair beside me, then turned and walked away. The air vanished from the room. It felt like my chest had caved in. I pushed back from the table, my napkin tumbling to the floor, and called out his name. I stumbled through the crowd, heart hammering, chasing him down the street. But he didn't stop. He didn't even look back. His steps stayed steady, unflinching, until he disappeared around the corner like a ghost escaping into daylight. I stood there on the sidewalk, numb, stunned, cold despite the warmth of the sun. My own laughter, only moments ago so loud and careless, echoed in my mind like a cruel trick. That night, he didn't come home. His phone rang once, then went straight to voicemail every time I called. I sat in the living room, too hollow to cry, too shaken to sleep, just replaying the moment again and again in my head. His eyes, the flowers, the silence that followed. I told myself it was a joke, that it didn't mean anything, but somewhere, deep down, I knew better. I had taken the man who had loved me with gentleness and devotion, and I had turned him into a punchline. The next morning, I found a note waiting on the kitchen counter, folded in half like it was holding itself together. "I thought I meant more to you. Maybe I was wrong. Don't call me." I read it once, then again and again, until the words blurred and the paper trembled in my hands, until tears spilled freely and I collapsed onto the kitchen floor, knees folding beneath me, the cold tiles unforgiving against my skin. The weight of what I'd done pressed down like something physical, like grief with teeth. In the days that followed, I tried everything: calls, texts, long, desperate emails that sounded less like explanations and more like pleas. I even showed up at his office, only to be told by his assistant that he was on extended leave. Our mutual friends, unsure how to respond, walked a delicate line of neutrality. But even their silence carried judgment, and I couldn't blame them. I had humiliated the man I loved. I had shattered something sacred. The memories haunted me. His eyes on the night he proposed, wide, nervous, full of wonder. The way his hands had trembled as he slipped the ring on my finger. The tiny apartment we turned into a home, with mismatched furniture and shared dreams. The quiet way he'd pull me into his arms when I was overwhelmed, grounding me without a single word. The way he'd hum absently while doing dishes, a melody only I knew he liked. He had always been my shelter, the one person who never let go, who always showed up, even when I didn't deserve it. Weeks passed without a word. I started therapy, desperate to make sense of what I had done, to understand the roots of my own cruelty. My therapist gently told me what I had feared. It was fear, self-sabotage, insecurity masquerading as humor, and while understanding the why offered some clarity, it couldn't erase the pain or undo the damage. It couldn't bring him back. One evening, I ran into his brother at the grocery store. I hadn't expected it, and I nearly dropped the basket in my hands, with tears brimming. I begged him to tell Daniel I was sorry, that I was trying to change, that I didn't know how to fix it, but I was willing to spend forever trying. He didn't offer comfort or judgment. He just gave a quiet, unreadable nod before walking away. That night, my phone buzzed. One message. Just 3 words. I heard you. I broke into sobs the moment I read it. Not because it meant everything was okay. Not because it meant he was coming back. But because it meant he hadn't shut me out completely. He still cared enough to listen. Even from a distance. Months have passed since then. He never returned. There's no longer rage in his absence. Just a quiet ache that lives beneath everything. The sharpness of that last glance he gave me has dulled with time, but its echo still lingers. I see sunflowers now and feel a sting behind my ribs. I pass the cafe where it all unraveled and have to swallow hard against the memory. A careless sentence, tossed out for a laugh, had cost me the only man who ever truly saw me. If I could go back, I'd take those words back in a heartbeat. I'd guard my love the way he always guarded mine, with quiet strength, with care, with reverence. But life isn't kind enough to offer do-overs. It only gives you silence, time, and the heavy, aching lesson: never take someone's love for granted, because sometimes the things we say in jest leave wounds that never quite close.